I think even giving somebody £100, £200, £500, £1,000, as the success of our VC fund last year demonstrated, can make all the difference. Well, I set up the VC fund because I was extraordinarily lucky when I was a postgraduate student to be given £100. This is in the dark ages, I admit, but it made the difference between me staying at university and me leaving. And I wouldn't be here today standing as Vice-Chancellor if it wasn't for the generosity of that anonymous donor. And I always felt that if ever I was in a position to be able to set up a similar type of thing, I'd love to be able to do it. So when I came to DMU in 2010, I started to raise the money for the first year of operation of the fund, and that was last year. And this year we've been able to help students like Prudence with the very generous support of people like Lindsay. Lindsay is one of our donors. She's created an endowed scholarship with your husband, Robert Jelly. And perhaps they might tell, perhaps Lindsay might tell us what motivated her to do it. Why did you want to get involved, Lindsay?
Well, I am an alumni of Montfort University. I studied fine art here, and I'm really happy to do it. Very happy to do it. And I think any small part you can play in making a difference to somebody's life is wonderful. I'm happy to do it.
Yeah, well, we're really grateful to all our donors, and particularly to you for your very generous support, because it means that students like Prudence, we had 500 applications this year, Prudence. We're only able to help, unfortunately, about 150 of them. What difference has it made to you receiving this boost?
Well, I've got a young child and she's about 20 months old. Having that financial help has helped me quite a lot with the nursery, everyday transport to college and back, and just buying stuff, and it's really expensive to buy all those things, and the £200 has made a massive difference to my life. I'm very grateful for all your support, and really thank you very much. Thank you.
You're very welcome. If it had been possible to support everybody, we would have done so. The only thing that constrained us is the size of the hardship fund, so that's a sort of ambition for me next year to double it, if not treble it.
What made you apply to the VC fund?
I think I applied because I have been through a lot, and as much as I've always said I refuse to accept charity, I'm not going to be that kind of person. At the same time, I sometimes think you do need to take a step back and think I do need help, and if I hadn't have taken the fund and if I hadn't have got it, I don't think I'd be nearly confident in my studies as I am now.
I was struggling a lot financially with having support in my family. I'd get to Monday morning sometimes and not have money to be able to get to university. Couldn't afford the books, couldn't afford to basically keep up with everybody else. So a friend of mine said, well, you've got just as much right to apply to as everybody else. You'd just be silly not to in your circumstances. So I did, and I was really, really, really lucky, and I was awarded it.
When I saw other people's story on the website, I figure I may just come forward and say what's mine and give it a shot. And I'm so happy that I am awarded some money, because it means I can, forget about or put aside my financial and personal issues and focus and study, because I don't have to be leaving uni to go to work to earn some money. I can use that money to take care of my bills and just concentrating on finishing this degree.
The VC fund has enabled me to not only get the books I missed out on, but the extra ones. You recommend reading, but then there's the stuff you really would like to be able to have your own copy of, so you can read it at 2 o'clock in the morning when you're doing your essays. DVDs I'm doing a film and literature course as well, and just going to see performances just so I know that things are really set in stone. I can see really how things are intended to be, so I can be as passionate about my studies as I really want to.
It's meant that I can come to university for all my lectures, I can afford to come, I can buy all the books that I need to buy, I can put the dedication into it that I need to. I've been able to take a little bit of time off work because I can afford to put in some extra study for my revision and my coursework.
So why is it important to me? Well, I was an apprentice. I started in 1972, I was paid £8 a week. But I came and learned engineering. I was paid to do it. I'm sure the students of today would sooner have £8 a week than their fees. So I think it's very important that those who have experienced and gained from it are able to give something back to the students and help them move forward.
Why did you give to the VC fund?
I thought it was very important. I'd been an alumnus of the Leicester Polytechnic, as it was known then, many years ago. I did my engineering course in the Hawthorne and the James Went building, and I came back many years later and did my master's degree. it gave me many opportunities. But what was important to me at the time is that was funded. I was employed. My employer was actually paying me to come and get educated. Nowadays it's very difficult for the students who have to pay their own fees, and I think it's very important for anybody that's benefited from that education and can afford to give back something. It's very good and helpful to help the students. Just to buy books for £100, £200 for this, it doesn't sound a lot, but to the student it really is very, very important.
What would you say to anyone else who's going to apply to the VC fund?
You should definitely apply, because even if you don't think you're going to get, because I didn't, because I'm not excelling academically, so I didn't think I'd be considered for it. They take you on an individual basis, and even when you don't think you've got a chance, you obviously do, because I didn't think I did. And look where I am.